You're late.
Whew. I know, and I'm sorry. I had to run an unexpected errand and try to get over here as fast as possible.
You're soaking wet.
When I say run, I mean that literally. I ran from work and then ran across town to catch a bus and finally ran over to the diner.
I broke a sweat for you, you know. Besides, you know what Pittsburgh streets are like.
True.
So, are you ready to order, or do you need more time to catch your breath?
No, I'm ready to order. I always get the same thing when I come here anyway.
We placed our order, and while Pat, the first friend I made after moving to Pittsburgh, dashed off to the restroom to freshen up, I stared at the window and people watched. It was an unusually warm day for this time of year, and everyone was out and about enjoying the sunshine.
Whew, oh, better. Golly, what a morning. So what is new with you? I haven't seen or heard from you in months.
Business must be booming. Hardley and I have been lucky, although it always seems weird to say that when you're in the private detecting business. It would be better not to have to do this sort of job at all, but
it's who you are. I knew it when I first laid eyes on you when we were working at the bank.
You looked bored out of your mind. Speaking of Hardley, any news on that front?
Come on, Pat. You know I don't. He's sweet on you. He's a good man. I had a slight crush on him at first, but as soon as he saw you, that was the end of that. You should give him a chance.
We work together. That would be weird. Anyway, let's talk about you. You look chipper. Much happier than the last time I saw you.
I know. I was feeling pretty low at the time. Breakups are never easy, but losing Jimmy was hard. He was my last hope. I had resigned myself to being an old maid.
But now, are things looking up?
You know me. I don't like saying anything or I'll jinx it, but I did get a new job.
Well, that's exciting. Tell me more.
I'm a display designer at Horn's department store.
That's amazing. Wait, the last time I spoke to you, you were still at the bank.
I left about 8 months ago to work at Horn's as a clerk and was promoted about a month ago. The old lady that had the job retired, and no one else was good enough to take over, so I got the job.
8 months? That long ago. Well, congratulations. I thought you might have been working in the jewelry department.
What?
The brooch. That's a nice-looking trinket you got there, sister.
That design is so unique. Looks handmade.
It almost looks like a dragonfly.
Oh, this? Just a little something I picked up. You know, as a present to myself, since no one else is around to buy it for me.
Oh, don't give up. He's out there somewhere.
That's easy for you to say, being that you're only 25, but I have a few years on you. The clock is ticking, and if you're not careful, you'll end up an old maid, and no man will want you. If I were you, I would snatch that partner of yours up before someone steals him right out from under your nose.
I don't know. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. But look at you. You seem so happy. And there's no man in the picture at all?
Oh, I see you blushing.
Who is he?
I don't want to say anything just yet. Just a fancy is all.
It's a start. Ah, there you are, Lacey. Hey, Patricia. Long time no see. How's Toots?
Toots is fine. What timing? We were just talking about you.
No, we weren't. Pat's left the bank and is now working at Horn's department store. Nice store. Congratulations. I don't mean to be a jerk and pull Lacey away, but I kind of need to tell her something. Excuse us, Pat.
You can talk in front of me, or is it too gruesome?
Don't know yet. She'll be just a sec.
Take your time, but I'm going to start eating without you, Lacey. Go ahead.
This better be good, Hardley. I haven't seen her in almost a year. I'm lucky she's still talking to me. Marelli called. A woman was electrocuted in her home, and he wants our opinion. Seems to think it might be fishy. Wait, he needs us? Did hell just freeze over? He just wants our opinion, nothing else. Well, I didn't eat my lunch yet. Can you give me half an hour? Sure, I'm going to the bank to make a deposit anyway. We actually have money in our business account now. Rockefeller, move out of the way. Witt and Stocking are coming through. By the time we made it to the home of George and Marilyn Delaney, Sergeant Marelli was wrapping things up. The coroner had just arrived and was in the process of moving the naked body of Marilyn Delaney. Her body was in a bathtub filled with water. There wasn't any water on the floor or anything electrical within reach, so I scratched my head about how this could be ruled death by electrocution.
I'm glad you took your time and rushed over here, Witt.
Easy, chum. I told you I had to track down Lacey and make a stop at the bank. If you wanted me over here lickety-split, you should have said something. Don't get in a lather about it.
What's eating you?
Focus, fellas. What gives, Marelli?
Let's see. Marilyn Delaney, age 42 years. Home alone, husband at work. Housekeeper let herself in through the back door around 11:30 and got down to work. When Marilyn didn't come down for lunch, the housekeeper went upstairs and found her in the tub. Oh, you know what? Why don't we step into the hallway so the coroner can take care of the body? Okay, where was I? The body was completely submerged, making me think drowning at first, but then I saw she had a burn mark on her fingers, possibly where she came in contact with electricity. The coroner will confirm it after he examines the body.
What's the time of death?
Right. Well, this is where things get fishy. The water in the tub was ice cold, making it hard to determine the exact time, but we're thinking anywhere between 9 a.m. and 11:30 when the housekeeper showed up. There was some water under the tub, but nothing on the floor. No footprints either, like someone cleaned up in a hurry.
No wet towels anywhere?
Nothing. No towels, rags, mops anywhere in sight.
11:30 seems like an odd time for a cleaner to show up at your house.
Right. Her name is Agnes, and she does laundry and ironing on Thursdays, and the missus told her that she could come and go whenever she wants as long as she gets it done before the weekend. I sent her home. Poor woman was in shock.
The most obvious question is, where is the husband?
Roberts is going to his place of work as we speak. I'll meet with him down at the station as soon as we wrap up here. Before you ask, my men have already dusted for fingerprints. Why not take a quick look around the place while we're still here? Another set of eyes might be needed.
Wait, are you admitting you need us?
I don't have a problem admitting it, but sometimes the two of you are a pain in my backside. Besides, Jenkins is out for training, and I have to put up with Roberts. He's not the brightest boy, if you know what I mean. Now, get to work.
The bathroom was a tiled floor, a clawfoot tub, and a small sink and mirror and linen closet. The bedroom was tidy, the closets were neatly arranged, nothing was out of place. How did people live like this? It wasn't normal. My apartment never looked like this, ever, even after I cleaned it. Mrs. Delaney had her vanity set up in the corner of the room, the top arranged with hairbrush and comb, powders, perfume, lipsticks, and a small jewelry box. I took a peek inside. Some interesting pieces, but not something I had ever seen in a store window. Not my taste, but the jewelry was certainly eye-catching. See anything? Nope. Everything is in its place. That housekeeper must be worth what they're paying her, or these folks are meticulous. Do you think Marelli might be overreacting for a change? Maybe, but better safe than sorry. My money is on the housekeeper.
What? Why?
She had access. She found the body. Now we just need a motive.
My money is on the husband.
He had access, probably did it before he went to work, possibly had a mistress, so there's motive. Well, one way to get some answers is to go to the station with Marelli while he talks with the husband.
Good idea.
Oh, Marelli! She was alive when I went to work this morning, I swear on it.
And what time was that?
I always leave at 8 o'clock sharp.
Can anyone vouch for you?
My boss when I got to work. His name is Jerome Higgins.
No, I meant at home. Did anyone see you leave?
Did anyone other than yourself see your wife alive before you left? No. Our only son goes to Carnegie Institute of Technology and sometimes stays on campus. Last night was one of those nights. So you were home alone. Bad luck for you. Yes, bad luck for me. Know anything about the burn marks on her fingertips? Burn marks? Yes, red burn marks. They look pretty serious. Oh, that. She was baking the day before, pies or something, for a charity auction. I don't take kindly to your implications. I wouldn't harm my wife, Sergeant Marelli. We've been married for 20 years. But have they been happy years? Miss Stocking, I've got this. No, I would like to answer her question. Yes, we've been very happy. We loved each other and built a beautiful life together. What do you do for a living? I'm an accountant with Joseph Horn's department store. Oh, yeah? Do you know Patricia Stevenson by any chance? She works there. She usually goes by Pat, though. I'm afraid I don't get out of the office much or interact with the store employees. Any inheritance? We have modest insurance policies to cover expenses and to give our son something to get by on when we go, but that's it. Is there anything else? I need to pick up my son from school and tell him the news. It's going to shatter him. No, that's enough for now. But don't go anywhere. We'll be talking again real soon. Well, Marelli, we have a cold fish on our hands. I don't know that I've ever met anyone so detached when hearing his wife had died. Give him some time, Lacey. He has a lot on his mind. He has to tell his son, and then they both have to go back to the place where she died. Are you getting soft on us? Not one bit, but I don't think he's lying, detached or not. Although, don't trail off like that, Sarge, or Hardley will lose his cool. I wasn't going to say anything. What's this fella's address? Oh, God, no, not a stakeout. Aw, come on, it'll be a riot. I'll bring coffee and donuts. We'll talk and laugh and have a good time. You'll see. Can we put some whiskey in that coffee of yours? Need to mask the taste somehow. I'm not offended. If you two are done flirting, I have George Delaney's address. Call me at home if you learn anything. We weren't flirting. Get out. But we weren't flirting. Hardley and I parked on a corner across from the Delaney home at 9 p.m. It was a nice neighborhood, not too quiet, not too loud with traffic. We had a full view of the front door and the alley at the side of the house. The only problem, the alleyway was completely in shadow. It was a cloudy night, too, making it harder to see. I don't know why you don't like doing this. Because it's boring. You just sit and stare and wait and wait and wait. Well, we could talk. We talk all the time. I know one thing we can talk about. What's that? While you were powdering your nose at the diner, Pat brought up a lot of good points about us. Why don't we ever talk about us? Shouldn't we stay focused and alert? Lacey, we're not getting any younger. We've been friends for over 2 years now. We need to face it sooner or later. At least I do. I'm tired of wasting my time. If you don't feel anything at all, I'll move on. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but hardly. We work together. My father always told my brothers and me not to mix business with pleasure. Oh wait, hold on. There's a woman walking up the sidewalk. I see her. You talk, I'll watch. I can't do that. I have to stay focused. Look. She's going down the alley toward the side door of the house. I'll be damned. She is. The door is opening. Oh, and she's inside. Did you catch a glimpse of who opened the door? Was it George? Who else could it have been? I don't know, his son? Visit from a school friend, maybe? Oh, wait, hold on. The door is opening. She's coming out. She's walking this way. Golly, that was a quick visit. Can you see her face? She's wearing a scarf over her head and it's covering most of her face. That walk looks familiar. Should we tail her? Nah, we'll just let her go. Let's entertain that was him at the door and the woman was his mistress. Like I said, motive for wanting his wife out of the picture. It's a bit soon to be entertaining anyone after losing your wife. Why don't we pay him a visit tomorrow at work? We can catch him off guard and ask who the mystery person was. If he even answers us. Yeah, if. I think you're right. We should talk about us. I'm listening. I lost both my parents within a few years of each other. Leaving Chicago, or running away from Chicago, as my brother would say, was how I coped. And I know it's been hard for you, even if you pretend like you're fine. Diving headfirst into work has kept me sane. I miss them. I feel like a piece of me is missing. Making right with my brothers and going back home has made me feel a little better, but my heart still hurts. I didn't know it was that bad. You hide it so well. I'll catch myself laughing, usually when I'm listening to Fibber McGee and Molly or Baby Snooks, and feel guilty for even being a little happy. It feels like they're slipping away whenever I feel good about life, and I'm not ready to let go yet. Would they want you to feel that way, though? No. In fact, my father would probably take me out for a malt and give me some piece of sage advice about how life is nothing more than a series of hellos and goodbyes. Your father was a malt shop philosopher, I see. Fishing philosopher, more like it. But he knew I preferred a chocolate malt to a rod and reel. I don't want you to think that you're not important to me, because I think of you as blood. But I have to work this out on my own time. Yet I don't want to hold you back from living your life. I have enough to feel guilty about already. I'm here for you. You need a shoulder to cry on, someone to hold your hand during a sad movie, someone to laugh at silly radio shows with, or someone to drink a chocolate malt with, or solve crimes with. And solve crimes with, yes. Hardley and I paid a visit to Horn's department store the next day, around 10 o'clock. We made our way to the accounting office to speak with George Delaney, but found he had taken a short leave of absence while he dealt with family matters, so that was already one strike for the morning. But, being a sucker for a pretty dress, I meandered to the women's clothing department while Hardley got lost in sporting goods. I found my friend Pat admiring her newly finished display. So much for shopping for a dress I couldn't afford. Hey, Pat, what's doing? Oh, hi, Lacey. Didn't see you there. I see you're busy working. The window display looks really nice. You okay? You seem a little out of sorts. Oh, just have a lot on my mind is all. A lot on her mind? It certainly showed. She slouched. Her hair looked like it hadn't been combed. Her nose was shiny. She didn't have any lipstick on. Her outfit hadn't been pressed. She looked all washed out, except for the butterfly-shaped necklace draped over her wrinkled blouse. I had seen that design somewhere before. You want to talk about it? Not really. Want me to leave you alone? Oh, Lacey. Man trouble? I can't do this right now. Perhaps I better go. Okay. How about we meet for coffee and pie tonight, just like old times? We can whine and cry about all the things bothering us. I don't think so. Excuse me. Huh. That was strange. What was that all about? I don't know. She's really upset about something. How about a stakeout tonight? I thought you hated them. I do, but this time we sit in the alley and wait. Dressed in black, Hardley and I slipped into the alley right outside the Delaney's back door. We tucked ourselves into whatever nook we could fit in and waited. Since we were apart, we couldn't pass the time away chatting, but it didn't matter. Within a half an hour, a woman slithered down the alley and knocked on the door in what sounded like a secret code. The door opened, but whoever let her in didn't turn the light on. What do we do now? Let's go around to the front and ring the bell. Or we could sneak in the back. Let me try the handle. Damn, locked. Okay, let's go to the front. Hello? Oh, you're Hardley A. Witt from the Detective Agency, right? I am. Can we come in? Uh, it's really late, Mr. Witt. Can we do this tomorrow? You have a woman in there? I beg your pardon? Come on, Mr. Delaney. We're all grown-ups here. We saw a woman come into your house through the back door in the alley. We just want to come in and talk is all. While Hardley was busy trying to worm his way into George's house, I heard footsteps in the alleyway. I stood behind him to shield my eyes from the porch light overhead. I saw a female figure pressing herself up against the house next door. Stop! Don't you run away from me! She was fast but in heels. I had longer legs and was wearing sensible shoes. I snatched the collar of her jacket and yanked her down onto the ground. Pat? The last time we sat across the table from each other, we were catching up like old friends. I felt guilty for not keeping in touch, and now I'm wondering if we had stayed in touch, maybe you wouldn't be sitting across from me in a police station. I'm disappointed in you.
What makes you think I did it?
Don't. Just don't. Your fingerprints are throughout the house, especially in the bedroom. Someone identified you coming and going, always through the back door, always when Mrs. Marilyn Delaney wasn't home. And George, your lover, was at work at 8 o'clock that morning and never left his desk until Officer Roberts spoke with him about his dead wife, who you killed right before you met me for lunch. That's why you were late. That's why you were soaking wet.
He could have done it before he left.
Pat, just stop. You're embarrassing yourself. It just so happens that Marilyn Delaney called her sister in DuBois at exactly 10:15 that morning. They spoke for 9 minutes and 17 seconds. She was alive until you showed up. You might as well confess. It'll be better for you if you did.
What do you want me to say?
I love him. He said he'd leave her and we would start a life together, but he was taking too long to start that life. How did you do it? Ugh. I walked in on her while she was in the bath. She had the radio on in the bedroom and the door was open. She didn't even hear me come in. I took the hairdryer from her vanity and, well, you can figure out the rest. You put the plugged-in hairdryer in the tub, waited long enough while she struggled in the water, unplugged it when she was done, cleaned the floor of your footprints, took the hairdryer and the towels with you, and ran across town to meet me. Does that sound right?
Look, I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life.
So, for a few expensive trinkets and a bunch of empty promises from a man who was never going to leave his wife, you're going to be spending the rest of your life in jail. Alone. Away from the man you love. Goodbye, Pat. Hey, girl. I didn't think I'd see you for a while. What you got in your hand? A bottle of bourbon? I like bourbon. You remember that shoulder you said I could cry on?